in your in your
Listen and hear the words of your most magnificent Supreme Sovereign, Rob Banks. I am God's gift to wrestling, who is put here for one reason: to take your money and stuff people into dumpsters on live TV, which they deserve. First of all you thrift store debtors with bad breath and crooked teeth need to shut the hell up, because I got a lot to say. And while you are at it, have you people ever heard of taking a shower? Because you all smell like the aftermath of a dumpster fire, and I am not paying to fumigate your fleas out of my new arena. Shut the hell up and let me lay this all out. The important person in the ring is speaking. Stop talking, pull out a pen, take notes, and pay attention, because this is by far the single most important thing you insignificant, meaningless cretins will ever hear in your entire life. This is my show, and I will be shown respect. Listen up and listen good, because I'm only going to say this once. This is how this is going to work. There are a total of 4 titles. 2 men's, 2 women's. Only 2 of these titles are made with actual gold. The Universal Champion and the Universal Empress. They are made of solid gold and precious stones. The other 2 titles are for the number 1 contenders. Losers of the first round will compete for these, while the winners of the first round will compete for the Universal titles. The Dumpster King and the Dumpster Queen belts, they are made out of wood and plastic because you are not a champion. We are going to have a tournament to see who the actual best of the best is. I put as much effort and money into these belts as you did winning your first match in the tournament. Now let's clear something up right now. I do not care where you came from. I do not care how many belts you have had elsewhere. This is my ring. You are all worthless jobber rookies as of this moment, myself included. No one has battled in my ring as of yet. Now I know what you're thinking. Rob Banks is the bad guy. Rob Banks cheats. Rob Banks is gonna give himself the titles, blah 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 blah. I have decided I am gonna compete also. To ensure this is fair to the rest of the pukes in the locker room, I would like to introduce BRW's two new general managers, Richard Long and Sherman Wright. They will ensure everything is run properly. One last thing. Getting one of these 4 belts will not be an easy task, nor will I grant the instant gratification and crown our champions tonight. When the champion is crowned, they will get one rematch the following show. If they fail to reclaim the title after that match, they go back to the bottom of the trash heap. And I will add more titles eventually, possibly a tag team division at some point. Now, I know most of you struggled to make it through the 2nd grade, but that is all. Welcome to Banks Regime Wrestling.
Welcome, y'all. Welcome on in. Please enjoy my hospitality on the behest of Mr. Banks. My name is Mr. Long, Mr. Richard Long. And what we have here is an Extreme Rules match because Mr. Banks don't much care for rules. And this is Mr. Blackjack. Now, Mr. Blackjack used to be part of Mr. Banks' regime, as you may call it. He is a longtime employee of the Banks family, but from my understanding, they have had a falling out, and he has had many great, fantastic matches elsewhere. So, Blackjack is making his way into the ring here. We have spared no expense at our new fine state-of-the-art arena, as you can clearly see. And now we have a newcomer. This newcomer is a man named The Effect. I do not know much about The Effect, but I have been told he is a prize fighter seeking glory. So let's see what he is all about here. I am impressed so far. This here sword looks like he is coming to fight, and that's exactly what we want here at BRW. He is looking excited, like he is going to give that old man work for this. Now, this is the first match of our here tournament to crown our champions. As you heard Mr. Banks previously state, winners of the first round will go on to compete for the Universal Champion and Universal Empress titles, while losers of the first round will be going to the Dumpster Division to compete for the #1 contender. Now, eventually Mr. Banks says we may or may not, but probably will, eventually have a tag team division here. Now, Effect is looking mighty jacked, so let's get on with this. This is our referee, Mr. Peterson. As soon as the cameraman, there he is. There's Mr. Peterson. And straight off the bat, Effect has gone for a drop kick. And he is punching Blackjack in the back of the head. And we have a Soviet leg sweep by Mr. Blackjack. And a nice reversal by Mr. Effect. And, a nice reversal by Mr. Blackjack here. And another reversal by Mr. Effect. They seem to be appearing to see who is going to be the dominant one here. But it looks like Mr. Effect is gaining the upper hand. He goes for a crossbody elbow strike and misses. And he's pulled a fast one on Mr. Blackjack there. Taking it outside the ring. Now listen here, gentlemen. Mr. Banks has just installed that new carpet, and he's instructed me to tell y'all not to be bleeding all over that, because that carpet is brand new. He is very much a stickler about his finances. Blackjack is showing this rookie clearly. Ooh, the rookie is not. Blackjack is turning the tides here on the Effect. Effect seems to be coming out guns blazing, though, if you know what I mean. And an amazing Scorpion death drop to the carpet. And what are you doing, Mr. Blackjack? Oh, he is about to launch him like a pencil. And Blackjack is eyeing that boy like a steak. And I believe that is the Deep Six maneuver. And Effect has countered and is quickly blocked. Blackjack is showing this rookie why he is a trained veteran and a respected veteran of this here industry. Now, I have been in this business, and I used to work for Mr. Banks' grandfather since about 1963, when I used to put on smaller shows when this was Banks Wrestling Academy. And we used to train many superstars here, but we never put on live shows before. So this is the first time Mr. Banks has finally legitimized his hair company and went all in and spared no expense, as you can clearly see by this beautiful arena. Blackjack is definitely being the dominant force here, and he is showing Mr. Effect that he is not to be trifled with. However, Blackjack is a bit older, as you can see, and Mr. Effect is trying his best to show this old man that there is a new lion on the mountain here. And here we got him in the figure 4 leg lock here. And Blackjack quickly counters it. And Blackjack is punching that boy in the face as hard as he can, and he just knocked him to the 5th dimension here. Now, Miss Harmony and Mr. Showman Wright, my co-GM, was originally supposed to be here today, but due to circumstances, Miss Harmony is a little bit under the weather. She's losing her voice. And here Mr. Peterson is going for the cover, but Effect is getting out. Back to my topic, though. Miss Harmony isn't feeling too well tonight, so I have decided the show must go on, as Mr. Banks put it. Showman will hopefully be here soon to help me co-commentate, as will Miss Harmony in the near future. And Blackjack is going for the Cobra Clutch, and Mr. Peterson is about to wrap it up, but he only gets a 2 count. He's got that boy close to his anus. Lord have mercy. Effect is not taking this lightly and is mounting an offensive here. And Mr. Effect looks to be going for a maneuver I believe is called the flyby. Whoa, that was a beautiful flyby, Mr. Effect. But is it enough to put Mr. Blackjack away? It is not enough to put Mr. Blackjack away. Mr. Blackjack is a highly respected veteran of this here sport. Now, Mr. Effect is showboating when he should be putting this here Blackjack away. And we have blood. This is why you do not turn your back on Mr. Blackjack. He is a long-time employee, and I have witnessed him in several matches. This man is a trained killer. Ew, and that was a very close call with the near 2 count there. Blackjack is going outside of the ring here to the mid rope, and it looks like he is getting ready to Yes, Mr. Blackjack, you might want to rethink your strategy here. Effect is turning it back around, but this is an amazing match so far. Both competitors here have been giving their best, and I honestly can't tell which one is in the lead or who is winning at this point. It's so evenly matched. It's fantastic, I tell ya. Blackjack going for I don't even know what that move is called. I'm just gonna wing it and say a drop kick. And Blackjack is going for a suplex, and it looks like he is getting ready to maybe wrap things up here. Let's see what he's gonna do. Mr. Effect is definitely in trouble. He's got blood all over his face and his eye, and Blackjack just having a good old time carrying him around the ring. Ooh. A nice try, Mr. Blackjack. Now see, Mr. Banks frowns upon rules here, so which is why all of these here matches tonight, except what I hear the main event. Now, Mr. Effect, you better not get your blood all over that new carpet. I am telling you, Mr. Banks will not be pleased if there is blood all over his new carpet. And what is Blackjack doing? From the look of it, he took too long, and Effect has broken out of whatever he was trying to do. But Blackjack is not having any of that, and Effect is like, nope, I'm going to give you, I don't even know what you would call that maneuver, some sort of neck breaker. That old man has been through a lot, I can tell you that much. And Mr. Effect is mounting another offensive. And now it looks like maybe we are going out into the crowd here. Blackjack showboating because it is looking like he is the dominant force here. But yeah, Mr. Effect, you saw him fighting a real opponent on your first debut match here. Let's see if that was enough though to put Mr. Blackjack away. And we only have a 2 count from Mr. Peterson here. This Blackjack fella is tough though. He is not staying down. However, he just got deep sixed because Mr. Blackjack just deep sixed his ass. But it wasn't enough to keep him in the ground here. This is definitely a very strong match, if I may say so myself. I am very impressed. Blackjack is looking confused, though. Maybe he forgot where he is. The man is like 75 years old, and he's still doing this, ladies and gentlemen. It's quite impressive how Mr. Blackjack has stayed in shape all these years. But that might probably be it there. Mr. Blackjack is going for a Boston Crab, and the effect is done, and Mr. Blackjack has wrapped this up. Mr. Blackjack will advance to the Universal Division, and Mr. Effect, sir, you are in the Dumpster Division. So you have a chance to compete for the Dumpster King title. Oh, come on, Mr. Effect. What did Mr. Peterson do to you? You should have won the match, yeah? That was so uncalled for, Mr. Effect. Punching Mr. Peterson on his very first day on the job, sir. Well, I hope you all enjoyed our first Hell match on Banks Regime Wrestling. We will be back after a word from these Hell sponsors.
Logan, where's that punk Logan? You know he ate all the nacho chips. Where's the nacho man Andy Cabbage without nachos? He just left an empty can of Pringles. You hear the Pringles shaking? Logan, you double dipped your chip in Miss Salsa. You don't get no queso, 'cause I say so. When I find you, it's gonna be hell to pay. Oh yeah! Well, the reason that Punk Hogan lost that ladder match and didn't get the contract, because he had his mind on Miss Salsa and thinking about dipping his chips in her again. He had hunger, in his eyes when he looked at her. I saw him. Logan, I'm gonna kill you. We'll be back, ladies and gentlemen. This is South African interview. Cut.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my soul, it can't be. Is that Nacho Man, Andy Cabbage, Mr. Banks? So how did you get this here fella to sign and come out of retirement? Let's listen to what he has to say here. He appears to be very, very angry about something. Let's see what he has to say here. Something about Miss Salsabeth and Bulk. No, not Bulk Logan, sir. No way Mr. Banks got Mr. Bulk Logan to sign here. Something about double dipping his chips and Miss Salsabeth's salsa? What? I am confused, sir. He is looking very jacked tonight, though, if I do say so. Mr. Nacho Man Andy Cabbage is looking in top physique performance here. The crowd appears to be loving it. Loving it. I am gonna shut the hell up, and we're just gonna let this play out like it's supposed to. But it appears he is very angry at Mr. Bulk Logan. Oh, Lord have mercy. Mr. Bulk Logan and Nacho Man Andy Cabbage both signed to BRW Wrestling. I can't believe my eyes. This isn't even like the second episode yet, and we already got call-outs going here. These two stars now have a mighty fine history of wrestling against each other at other places, I do believe. Let's hear what Mr. Logan has to say here. Mr. Logan is looking a bit pissed off, if I may say so. Nacho Man is not having any of it. Look at the hatred in that man's eyes. He looks like he is ready to go completely insane here at any moment. Calm down now, Mr. Nacho Man. Calm down. I'm sure we can get this worked out here for you, sir. Bulk is just smirking. He's up to no good. I cannot believe what I am seeing, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Bulk Logan and Nacho Man Andy Cabbage in the ring. It has been a long time since these two have been seen anywhere on any promotion and in the same ring at the same time. This is going to be good. Look at Mr. Nacho Man. He is not having any of what Mr. Logan is saying here. Mr. Logan is cool and collected, though, but he is laying out what he has to say here. Oh, this arena is about to erupt when these two start swinging at each other. Right now, Mr. Nacho Man Andy Cabbage is verbally abusing Mr. Logan again over this misunderstanding, or I don't know what's going on with Miss Salsabeth, but clearly there is something going on here we are not aware of that happened in the locker room. Both men staring each other down. I think they have an understanding that they are going to be fighting here soon. Looks like Mr. Cabbage wants to get a last word in here. I'm just going to be quiet. I'm going to see how this plays out here for you all. If you all are tuning in, this is Mr. Nacho Man Andy Cabbage and Bulk Logan. Mr. Banks has spared no expense to get both of these here superstars signed to our promotion. I will say though, Mr. Nacho Man Andy Cabbage makes some fine nacho chips. I am a fan. It appears Mr. Andy Cabbage has decided to wait until next week until these two settle their differences. So we will be right back after these hell messages, sirs and gentlemen and ladies. I am again your host, Mr. Richard Long, the Lady Destroyer, and we will be back. Welcome to our very first female match here. We have two of the most fine women you have ever seen. This one needs no introduction. She is a superstar from multiple promotions. Miss Norana Moon here. She is looking absolutely fantastic as she makes her way to our fine ring. Now, it has come to my understanding through the commercial break that Mr. Nacho Man has not actually signed all of his paperwork yet, and that is why he decided not to throw hands at Mr. Logan yet, because both of them are still in the process of being signed to our fine promotion here at Banks Regime Wrestling, so they were unable to go at each other, but I have gotten word they are in the process of signing as we speak, and there will be a match between the two next week to determine which division Nacho Man Andy Cabbage or Bulk Logan goes to. Miss Narana is just dominating the ring with her presence and these lights, turning her wheel. She is definitely a fan favorite amongst most people, from my understanding. She will be facing a newcomer tonight that has never been seen before, so we will see who her opponent is shortly, ladies and gentlemen and sirs. Hopefully it's not that evil succubi Kane. Ooh, this music is mighty energetic, y'all. Blue Fox, our newest newcomer, is making her way to face Miss Moon here. She appears to be some sort of female knight of some sort from the look of her armor. I don't know if her arms were injured or her legs were injured, but she is definitely playing it up to the crowd, and they appear to like her so far. So let us see here how this match goes off here. Miss Fox making her way into the arena. Alright, Mr. Peterson appears to have recovered from his situation with Mr. Effect earlier, and they are going straight at it right out the gate. Miss Fox is going after Miss Narana Moon, but Miss Narana Moon is a trained veteran here. However, Miss Fox is coming out on fire. She is punching her in the back of the head, And she is, well, she was doing mighty well, but Miss Moon is, like I said, she is a veteran, so she has reversed it. Now, as I mentioned earlier here, Mr. Banks is not a fan of rules, so all of these here matches are extreme rules. Miss Fox, though, has reversed and countered and got that kendo stick. And Miss Moon has gotten it back and has whacked her several times. Miss Moon, what are you swinging at, ma'am? Miss Fox is just going to town with that kendo stick. They are reversing. I don't know who's got the stick or what, but apparently Miss Moon is having enough of that. She mostly likes to play by the rules here. Miss Fox, however, with a beautiful DDT. And going for the cover, and here comes Mr. Peterson for the count, but that is way too early to count, Miss Fox. You have a lot to learn if you think you're going to pin Miss Moon that quickly. Cross arm DDT there. Going for a submission hold. Let's see if she taps out. Miss Moon, now you should have known better. I know Miss Fox is new, ma'am. But Lord have mercy, it is way too early to be going for those type of moves. Miss Fox is eyeing her like a plate of shrimps. And what do we have here? Some sort of suplex spinning move here. What a beautiful diamond cutter that was, Miss Fox. Let's see if it get the job done. Absolutely not. You are not going to beat Miss Moon that quickly, ma'am. That is another reversal. These two appear to be quite evenly matched, I must say, even though Miss Fox is definitely the underdog here. And Miss Fox going to take Miss Moon's legs. Lord have mercy. Miss Moon looking like her back injured. Mr. Peterson going for the count here, but Miss Moon is not having any of that. Dragging her up by her hair. What are you doing, Miss Fox? Miss Moon is mounting defensive, and she is looking to return the favor to Miss Fox here, but it looks like Miss Fox is broken out of it. I have to say, for a newcomer, Miss Fox is looking mighty dominant here in this here ring at the moment. Miss Moon has obviously underestimated her opponent, and it appears to be costing her at this here time. Now what are you doing, Miss Fox? This is a very high risk, and see, this is why you don't go for the top rope here, because that top rope could be just as dangerous to you as it could your opponent should you pull it off. Miss Fox, though, it doesn't seem to have phased her with that suit of whatever kind she has going. And it appears Miss Fox is definitely on the offensive and controlling Miss Moon at the moment, which is surprising me because Miss Moon is a high-class veteran from many promotions here. However, maybe she just luring her into the trap, but Miss Moon needs to start taking Miss Fox a little more seriously here. Where's my beverage here? Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, I was a bit thirsty and I needed my beverage. Miss Fox, though, has been on fire this entire time. I think Miss Moon just underestimated her opponent. Now Miss Fox is trying to rip her leg out the socket as she spins it around and flings her to the ground here. Miss Fox is showboating a little bit. Well deserved, if I may say so. That is some nice hair you have, Miss Fox. I must say, I am liking the glowy blue stuff you are using here. However, you need to pay attention to your opponent because Miss Miranda Moon is no joke here. Miss Fox here, definitely on the offensive, getting the rebound here. And she is going for some sort of cutter move here. And Miss Fox is going for the cover as Mr. Peterson goes for the count, but it is still not enough to put Miss Moon away up in here. Now, just be lucky you two ladies aren't fighting my cousin Showman's wife, Miss Connie. Because Miss Connie, from my understanding, has signed to Banks Regime Wrestling. And that woman is an evil succubi straight from the pits of hell. I have seen her try to remove a man's soul from his sphincter muscle with a vacuum cleaner up in here. Anyways, back to the match here. Miss Moon going to the top for looks like a superplex. Right into the skull of BRW Arena's mighty fine ring, if I do say so myself. Miss Fox going for the finish. And that is a wrap. And ladies and gentlemen, our winner is Miss Blue Fox. She will be advancing to the Universal Empress division, while Miss Narana Moon, the trained veteran, will be headed to the Dumpster division to compete for the very first Dumpster Queen. I am very surprised by these results. Miss Fox is definitely no pushover here. Miss Narana, you should have taken her a little more seriously, ma'am. You are indeed a fine performer, but you clearly underestimated your opponent. I am Mr. Richard Long, ladies and gentlemen. Please continue to enjoy our hospitality as we move forward, but I will return after a word from our sponsors here.
Are you constantly waking up drenched in your bed, soaked because you didn't make it to the bathroom? Do those dreams of relaxing in the ocean often lead to an ocean of pee in your pants? Do I have a product for you? Sherman Wright's Dependable Depends, the preferred nighttime underwear for the elderly and medically diagnosed incontinent. If they would have slapped one of these bad boys on the Bilberry Reservoir, it would have stopped the Great Dam failure in 1852. Are you in the money in the bank? And you can't hold your bladder while climbing up that ladder? Sherman Wright's Dependable Depends may be just right for you.
Welcome back to BRW. Oh, I can't be. It is Miss Kyva Daniels, a former DTKA superstar who apparently is coming out of retirement. Let us tune in here and see what Miss Davis, or my mistake, Miss Daniels, I can't talk. It's that tap water I've been drinking, have all that fluoride in it. Miss Kyva Daniels is back from her retirement here, and she is looking fantastic, if I do say so myself. I will shut my mouth because I think it is rude to talk when a lady is speaking. And Miss Daniels is a legend in her own time. Last I heard, she had some kind of injury, but it appears she is looking like she has recovered from said injury, unless I am mistaken. I have been keeping track of all these superstars, and she has called out newcomer Nicole Richardson. Now, Miss Richardson is making her way out. I don't know what this is all about here, but Miss Richardson does not look like she is having any of what Miss Daniels is having to say. Let's hear what Miss Richardson has to say here to Miss Daniels. Ms. Richardson looks like she is pissed off about something here, ladies and gentlemen and sirs. Look at the facial expression on Miss Daniels. She is not liking what Ms. Richardson is saying to her. And Miss Daniels, when she get that look in her eye, you better watch out. injured or maybe retired, or I'm not sure the whole story. I am going to get the whole story for you, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Miss Daniels was a former DTKA superstar, and DTKA have that exclusive contract thing, but she is not signed, to my knowledge, with DTKA at this time, so it is looking like she is signed with us now. Ooh, look at the eyes on Miss Richardson. She is not having it either. This is going to be good. There is nothing more I love than watching two females in the ring going at it. Oh, she is looking very angry. Except for Connie. I don't like anything to do with Connie. That woman... Listen, eventually Mr. Long here is going to get in the ring himself, as I am the general manager. It's bound to happen at some point. However, I should have you know, like, I have a history with Connie. Me and Showman, my co-GM, used to fight over Connie quite a bit. Showman ended up marrying her, which was the biggest mistake of his life. But listen here, Showman, I hope y'all doing well, and I'm looking forward to working with you hopefully next week here on BRW. Oh, Miss Richardson, you just hit Kyva Daniels in the face. Oh, that was a nasty cutter to the leg there. Miss Kyva is not having none of that. Get Mr. Peterson out there to take care of this. This is not a match signed for tonight. Listen to the crowd. They can't believe it. They like crickets at the moment. They ain't saying a thing. Looks like Miss Daniels is trying to break her foot. Oh, Miss Richardson, maybe you bit off more than you could chew. Who knows? We'll see if you can, what do we have going on here? She has her in a Boston Crab style move. Miss Daniels is just going to work on Miss Richardson. And what a clothesline from hell that was. That was magnificent. Miss Richardson, though, countering back. And it looks like Miss Daniels is in serious trouble. Gets right, Mr. Peterson. Break that up here. These two are scheduled to have a match next week on our Hill show. So it appears we have a situation going on here. Mr. Peterson is going to clear this Hill ring out. So why don't you all enjoy a commercial while we get this under control here. And we will be back in here a couple seconds here. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to this here BRW Banks Regime Wrestling. And here we have a match between two newcomers. First we have Mr. Blake Wheeler. Now, rumor has it Mr. Yuri Kana himself has scouted for talent and found these two here gentlemen and has been training with them behind the scenes for a while. And Mr. Kana wants to see which one of them deserves to go into the Universal Division and which deserves to go into our Dumpster Division. Mr. Wheeler is looking mighty hyped up here for his debut match, and obviously he should be. Look at all these people. Look how happy they are. Next up, we have Mr. Shaw Winners, from my understanding. Now, Mr. Kana has sided... I'm tongue-tied from this here water. I'm a bit thirsty. One moment, please, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get a sip of this here fine tap water while Mr. Shaw makes his way into the ring here. Now, Mr. Kana has scouted both of these here gentlemen from lower promotions, and he brought them in thinking that he could make something of these two here. Mr. Shaw and Mr. Wheeler here. We are gonna finally see between these two who the true alpha male is here, if you know what I'm saying. Mr. Connor has his hopes set high, so these two better perform very well here. Mr. Banks will also be watching this match. I am sure he is in the back enjoying the festivities we are having here. Mr. Shaw seems to be absorbing some of the energy the crowd is giving to him. And he looks like he is not going to be taking no shit up in here. Mr. Peterson making his way into the ring. Mr. Wheeler and Mr. Winters are getting ready, and the bell is about to ring, and here we go. Right off the bat, Mr. Wheeler doing that basement drop kick. Mr. Winters going straight for the legs. Going straight for the pin. Oh, come on, Mr. Winters. You ain't going to win that fast. Now, from my understanding, these two gentlemen here were rivals in lower promotions. And Mr. Yurikana spotted them and thought they had potential. As I have been saying, that's the word I was looking for earlier. You better watch yourself, Mr. Peterson. These two are not playing around. Mr. Winters going directly for Mr. Wheeler. Mr. Wheeler pulling a reversal. These two athletes appear to be evenly matched, which is exactly what we want to see up in here. They are putting on a mighty fine match so far, and oh, right in the anus. That had to hurt, Mr. Winters. I hope you are paying attention, because Mr. Wheeler appears to be going for a chair, but it appears you were not fast enough, Mr. Wheeler. Now, you gentlemen, that carpet is brand new, and Mr. Effect has probably already bled on that carpet, and he is going to be fined if he did. Mr. Banks likes everything to be perfect and beautiful. And I can tell you, if he bled on that carpet, or if any of you bleed on his carpet, it doesn't matter who hit who or what. If your blood is found on that carpet, Mr. Banks is going to be fining you. He is a stickler about his funds and keeping things clean here. As you heard him earlier this evening, Mr. Winters, what are you swinging at, sir? Mr. Wheeler, that almost worked, but Mr. Winters seemed to have, well, I guess Mr. Winters isn't as in control as I thought here. Mr. Wheeler going for a shoulder neck break of some kind, going straight for a kick to the head. Mr. Wheeler is looking nice, and he got that chair. Oh, right in the knee. That had to hurt Mr. Winters. I don't know if he'll be able to recover from that, but like I said, Mr. Banks has requested that all these matches here are Extreme Rules because he doesn't care much for rules, to be honest. And a whiff there. Mr. Winters popping back to his feet. Mr. Wheeler mounting an offensive, but it is quickly countered by Mr. Winters, who just got clapped in the ears because he wasn't paying attention. Lord have mercy, these two were so equally matched. I can't even tell who's winning. Mr. Winters with the drop kick to the forehead, and only a 1 count there. Mr. Winters kicking Mr. Wheeler and going up to the mid rope for some sort of maneuver. Looks like Mr. Winters said, no, I am just going to come down here and put my foot up your ass, sir. Mr. Wheeler with the counter in a flying Hurricane Rana or whatever that move is called. I don't know. It's been a while. There's so many moves here. Mr. Wheeler is doing maneuvering them kicks. That was some amazing leg work. A chair shot straight to the anus, to the gluteus maximus to be more scientific. Going for that drop kick again on Mr. Winters here. Mr. Wheeler really favoring that chair, but what is he doing going in and out of the ring? That boy must have been hitting the head too many times. Mr. Wheeler going for some sort of power bomb. Sort of advanced. Oh, that had to hurt, Mr. Winners. I hope you have good insurance, because Mr. Banks ain't covering that. Mr. Peterson counting, and we get a 2. Mr. Wheeler can't believe the look on his eyes that this man is able to get out of that. Going for whatever that was, you done. That did not work, Mr. Wheeler. Mr. Winners got him in some sort of figure 4 maneuver here. Will Mr. Wheeler tap, though? That is the question on everyone's mind here. Mr. Winners lets the hold go. I'm not sure why, and he's looking mighty tired in that there ring here. Mr. Wheeler with very, very agile legs here, which is surprising considering those braces he has. This match has been split down the middle 50-50. Mr. Winners going for a power bomb into a crab. And Mr. Winners, we are not particularly fond of that move here in BRW, but a win is a win. So congratulations on advancing to the Universal Division. While Mr. Wheeler, sir, you didn't quite get the job done, sir. So you are headed to the Dumpster Division, sir, where you will have a chance to earn the Dumpster King #1 contender belt. That way, when one of these fine gentlemen in the Universal League, the winners here, of the first tournament, unlike you, Mr. Wheeler, advance to eventually become the first Universal Champion here in BRW Promotions, Wrestling Promotions here. Mr. Winners enjoying his win, as he should, as he is obviously clearly a winner and heading to the Universal Division. Look at him looking at the crowd. The crowd appears to be liking him as well from the look of it. He is absorbing the crowd's energy. I've seen so many performers do that. Look at that little guy jumping over there. He's excited Mr. Winners won. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back with another great, fantastic match after this here small break. You stay tuned now to BRW Wrestling.
Get the hottest magazine around! Get the inside information and prediction of who will win from our top psychics! Plus, exclusive interviews, exclusive posters, and all the latest hottest wrestling gossip there is! Go now, behind the scenes, and see the hardships our superstars all face for a chance to win the gold! Monthly subscription starts at $19.99. Kids must first brush their teeth and get their parents' permission before calling. Call 1-800-BRW-MEGA. That's 1-800-BRW-MEGA. This is not a real phone number, and I will not be held responsible if you call it doofus. And for limited time only, unedited and uncensored, never before seen on TV, and never will be aired banned footage. It was the night Miss Harmony Banks got drunk and danced on top of BRW Arena. Get this exclusive bonus DVD only with issue 1. Hurry and call now. Call now before Mr. Banks and Miss Harmony find out. That's 1-800-BRW-MEGA. Call now.
Welcome, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are back to Banks Regime Wrestler. And what do we have here? We have Mr. The Beast in the ring here, and let us hear what he has to say. He looks very angry for being his first day on the job here. Let's see what this is all about here. Mr. Beast is in top physical condition, as you can see, and it does not look like he is here to play any games whatsoever, if I do may say so myself here. Looks like he's trying to appeal to the crowd, and it appears the crowd is responding in kind to him. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut and see what this is all about. I am just as confused as everyone else, and I am not understanding why he is calling someone out already on his first day here. He is not even scheduled to perform until next week, from my understanding. He is clearly getting the crowd worked up, though. Look at him. He is calling out Mr. Black Corey D. Now, I don't know much about Mr. Black Corey D yet. I have heard rumors, though, he is in a friendly promotion to Banks Regime Wrestling known as the Purple Hippo Show. I do believe. I could be wrong. I will have to double check my fact checks. I have just gotten in here, and I will have this all straightened out by next week. But I am pretty sure here Mr. Black Corey D is from the Purple Hippo Show, so. Mr. Black Corey D is not having any of this, whatever he is talking about here. I am going to use this time to have a refreshing beverage while these two settle their differences here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, they are still having exchanging words here in the ring. Wonder if one of them is going to pull their glove off and slap the other one, and we have ourselves a good and proper duel. Apparently, though, that's frowned upon here. More than likely, we could just get them in a match here. Old school duels here are not really smiled upon. Anyways, they are still exchanging words here. The crowd is desperately waiting for one of them to swing at the other. Look at the size difference. Lord have mercy. The Beast is a big man. Look at them muscles. I hope Mr. Black Corey D know what he in for, but from my understanding, he is a lot tougher than he looks. And Mr. Beast may be big, but that doesn't necessarily give you an advantage in the ring when it comes to experience and moves and such. Oh, Mr. Black going straight for a clothesline of some kind. This crowd got real quiet all of a sudden here. Mr. Beast is turning it around on Mr. Black. They taking it outside the ring here. Maybe Mr. Black is taking it back in the ring. I'm not sure what he's doing, but he just missed an opportunity there. Mr. Black jumping back in, playing mind games of some sort with them. Flinging that big man around like he is a rag doll and clearly meditating or some such. Get Mr. Peterson out here. This match isn't scheduled for next week. I can't have these I can't have my talent fighting without a proper. Like this is seeming to be a problem tonight, as nobody's respecting our authority, and the talent just seems to think they could do what they want here, and that's clearly not the case. Mr. Black, though, is giving everyone a little sneak peek, apparently, of what's going to happen next week. Mr. Peterson, get in there and break them up and do your job, Saw. Get in there, that's right, break them up, Saw. Break them up. Alright, we're going to get this here mess taken care of. Let's get on to the next match here. If we don't have any more interruptions, if you could kindly stay in the back here, we will bring out our next talent here. Kindly, this is giving me a headache here, so we will get this here sorted out for y'all. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we got that all sorted out. Now we are on to our second women's match of the evening. And we are coming out with a bang. Here we have Miss Gwen Cassidy herself. Now, my granddaughter is a big fan of Miss Cassidy. I am going to have to get her autograph for her as soon as this here match is over, hopefully. She is definitely a crowd favorite. Look at that guy jumping up and down in the crowd there. He is having himself a good time. Miss Cassidy is no stranger to the ring. She has been in several promotions from my understanding, and I am a fan of her work, as is my granddaughter. Now, Showman, why couldn't you have found yourself a girl like Miss Gwen Cassidy? Instead, you ended up marrying that Connor. And here we have Toastina. Now, rumor has it, Mr. Banks made a robot known as Benin9, and he's supposedly fell in love with a toaster in a lunchroom somewhere, and he ended up converting this here toaster into this robot we see here known as Toastina. Now, from my understanding, Mr. Benin9, the machine that he is, he really enjoys making toast with that there Toastina here. Miss Toastina apparently is pleasing the crowd, as you could see, but from my understanding, there is a toaster somewhere under that helmet, and the toaster powers her inner circuits. Who knows what Mr. B9? So, Benny, listen. You gotta lay off a Showman, Benny. I know you think he's some sort of alien and shit along those lines, but listen, Benny. Listen, I've known Showman my whole life. He may be a little weird, but he is not an alien here, I saw. Mr. Peterson is ringing the bell here. Miss Toastina and Cassidy are going at it here. Miss Toastina is very tall. I'm assuming it hides all her components to get a robot of that capacity to work. She is made of a lightweight alloy, though, so it is not too hard to hit when Miss Cassidy hit her and things of that nature. I have been informed by Mr. Banks. Miss Cassidy not taking no shit from Toastina. She's saying, I do not want your toast. However, Toastina is saying, well, you're going to get some toast anyway, and dragging her. I don't know what she's doing. Is that robot malfunctioning or need a reformatting or some such? Toastina apparently really wants Gwen to try her toast. Knocking her over the side railing. Miss Cassidy looks like she doesn't know if she should go out there, though, but Miss Cassidy, this here is an Extreme Rules match. Anything goes. Miss Toastina, that is not a nice way to treat Miss Cassidy, throwing her into the turnbuckle like that, and them stairs are solid gold there. Please do not scuff them, as Mr. Banks may take it out of your metal to replace that there. That is standing by the BRW magazine advertisement, and oh, Toastina, you are dirty, girl. if you even a girl, technically she's just a machine or a toaster of some sort. Tostina throwing Miss Cassidy back in the ring. She appears to be punching her in the head and going for some type of submission move here, but I think it's a little too early for that, Miss Tostina. Miss Cassidy is going for a spear of some kind, but it is not phasing Tostina. How is this match even fair to Miss Cassidy? Tostina's a machine made out of metal. What were you thinking on this one? I see, Mr. Banks, I normally think you a genius, sir, but Miss Tostina here is a machine made out of solid metal and gold, apparently. How is this fair? But apparently Miss Cassidy is having no problems flinging her around and seems to be turning the tides on Miss Tostina here. But only get a 2 count from Mr. Peterson. Miss Cassidy got her up, but Miss Tostina has deflected whatever type of moves she was trying to pull off there. It looked like a Hurricane Rana of some sorts. Miss Cassidy using her brain, apparently, to counteract whatever Miss Tostina is doing. Now, I have personally not tried Miss Tostina's toast yet. Mr. B9 is always offering me to try his toast. He always wants me to watch him make her toast. I think that's a little strange myself. I just try to stay away from those two because Mr. B9 doesn't like Showman all that much, and Showman's my cousin, so, I don't even really like Showman all that much, to be honest, but he is kinfolk, so I try to be respectful to the man here. He isn't present. Miss Cassidy turning the tide on Miss Tostina, flinging her into the ropes with that back suplex of some kind, but Miss Tostina pulling some sort of Hurricane Rana that Miss Cassidy used, apparently adapting to her surroundings. And she just went for, looked like Harmony, one of Miss Harmony's moves, that rack attack. Miss Harmony is famous for that. But she only gets a 2 count. Yeah? Tostina looking a little flustered, and I guess she's trying to make the crowd amused here. And she is challenging Miss Cassidy. Apparently she going full control here on Miss Gwen Cassidy here. Miss Cassidy looks a little dazed and confused, but she flips it around on Miss Tostina here. And apparently goes for that powerbomb combo again. I am going to have to do something about that. Miss Cassidy using one of the oldest, dirtiest tricks in the book to get a move over Miss Tostina. Anyways, here, sirs and gentlemen, Miss Cassidy will be going to the Universal Empress division, while Miss Tostina, you are going to the scrap heap into the dumpster division, where you will have a chance to compete for Dumpster Queen. Now, once you get the Dumpster King or Queen belt, you are the #1 contender for the Universal Champion. So, from my understanding, Mr. Banks wants to put his champions' faces in that ring once they are crowned, but this tournament will be going on for some time. Miss Cassidy, with the well-deserved win, even though she used a dirty move, Miss Cassidy. I thought a little bit highly of you there. But that powerbomb combo is a move that everyone seems to like to cheat with. So we may have to make some new rules and regulations going forward. So while Miss Cassidy enjoys her victory here, we are going to take a little bit of a breather. I am your host, Mr. Richard Long of BRW Wrestling, and we will be back after these here messages.
I'm Gwen Cassidy. Will you be an angel for a helpless animal? They are crying out for help. Call this number on your screen or online, which is $4.99 a month. Come see rescue these poor sad animals from being abused or from being killed. This money helps provide medical care, food, and love. This is your chance to say, I won't let this happen. Let's all get together and help these poor animals, especially rescue those gerbils from that gerbil jabber. And for thanks, I will throw in a conversation of what your pets really feel about you. And I'll also throw in a tote bag signed by yours truly.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, something is happening in the ring. Apparently, Mr. Mehoff has something to say. Mr. Showman boy, did you know this here fella's name is Mr. Mehoff? Mr. Jack Mehoff? Did this guy's parents hate him or something? I bet this boy was picked on in school from the moment he walked in to the moment he walked out. Mr. Jack Mehoff, sir. What your mother needs to be slapped for agreeing to naming you that, sir. Your daddy wasn't the brightest crayon in the box, clearly, but let's see. I'm getting tired of these interruptions here to my show. We will not be having this many interruptions here when I have a talk to Mr. Banks going forward about this, because this is getting ridiculous here. These people are paid fine, good money to see our performance fight. But I'm going to tell you what, all these people coming out here, making distractions and interrupting the flow of my show, they are all going to be booked next week against each other. And that's all I have to say about that. And we're going to get our security team in check here. And they are clearly going to be fixing this, so this doesn't happen like this all the time. That's all I have to say about this. Oh my soul, Mr. Mehoff, you calling out pain? That is... Sir, you are a rookie, sir. No one has even seen you fight, and you are calling out Mr. Pain? You don't even know what your ass is getting into here, boy. You better just run out the ring, out the back door, through the emergency exit right now, sir. Because Pain is gonna probably send your ass to the emergency room, and we are not covering your health expenses. Mr. Banks has made that very clear to all of you in the back. You should not be calling out Pain on your first day, sir. You just made a fatal mistake here. Pain is not playing no games here. Look at him. He's just like, who the hell are you, sir? Mr. Mehoff calling out Pain. What the hell are you thinking, sir? I am going to shut the hell up because I do not want to interrupt Pain. Pain get very angry and he's very scary. So I'm just going to shut the hell up and let's see what Pain and Mr. Shaman, his name's Mr. Mehoff. That boy's mother needs to be slapped for that. What was his parents thinking? What were you thinking naming your son Jack Mehoff? That just Mr. Mehoff. So, damn, boy. That's something Connor would do. Showman, if you have yourself a child with Connor, I know you're getting up there in the age and everything, but if somehow it happens, try to name your child something respectable and not follow in line with these. I know Miss Connor right here, or Mrs. Connor right I should say, because you done married her, you fool, but listen, I know she's the succubi. Now listen, Showman, we managed to get her hedge clippers from her, and we've hidden them hedge clippers, so your tallywhacker is safe for the time being, sir. It's a long story, I will explain it later. Mr. Mehoff is mouthing off the Pain, and that is not something a rookie should be doing here. I know this is only the first episode, but no one has seen you fight yet, Mr. Mehoff. No one knows who you are. We just know your name is Mr. Jack Mehoff, sir. But everyone knows who Mr. Pain here is, and everyone knows what Mr. Pain is capable of, sir. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, I am so... This guy has some gold to call Pain out, so I'm going to tell you what. This here match Mr. Mihov, whatever happens here, this is going to be the opener for episode 2. These two, Mr. Mihov, you just signed your death warrant, so I am opening the next show with this here match. Pain versus Mr. Jag Mihov. And look, Pain ain't going to take your shit, Mr. Mihov. Now look what you did. He just knocked your teeth out to the crowd here. Mr. Mihov, you got lucky there, sir. You just gonna piss him off doing that, Mr. Mihov. I am a little impressed though that you called out one of the biggest, baddest men in the back, sir. But you made a mistake if you don't know who that gentleman there is, sir. Mr. Mihov kicking Pain in the face. Now, Pain is not the one to forgive. He is called Pain for a reason. You hurt that man, he likes it. That is what I have been told by people that have went up against him. It just makes him even angrier. That was a cheap chop there by Mr. Mihov to Pain. Mr. Mihov botched that, and then Mr. Pain. Mr. Peterson, you need to get out there and get these gentlemen under control so we can have our opener next week. If you hear me, Mr. Peterson, get your team down there and end this. And that's what you get, Mr. Mihov. That's what you get. Now, Pain, I understand you're upset, but listen, Pain. Listen, Pain. Listen to Mr. Peterson, Pain. I am going to give you him. Next week is the opener to next week's show. Now, you two boys clear on out the ring here, and we're going to get the rest of this going the way it's supposed to be. I am tired of these gentlemen interrupting the flow of my show. We are going to open next week's show with Pain versus Mr. Jag Mihov. And with that said, we will be right back. Enjoy our hospitality and our word from these here subscriber messenger. So I can't talk. I'm so tongue-tied from this. Word from our sponsors. That's what I was looking for. Thank you, our sponsors. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We got that mess situated and cleared up. Now, what we have here, this here is Mr. Mambies here. And the rumors are true. Mr. Mambies did get in an altercation with the toddler because he stole his teddy bear. Mr. Banks dispatched his lawyers quickly and we resolved the situation. But you do not touch that man's teddy bears here. He is very, very fond of his teddy bears, and he does not like anybody touching his teddy bears. Mr. Manbeast, I would not touch your teddy bears with a 10-foot pole saw. Now, from my understanding, he is going to be going up against another fine gentleman of refined culture. I don't want to get knocked out. I don't want these two guys angry with me, so I am not going to call them that. I read the cliff notes. I am not saying that. These two fine gentlemen of fine culture. And then here we have Mr. Hack. Now, Mr. Hack has a bad habit of getting banned on social media, from my understanding. He has been banned on 4 different platforms for very, very obscene language. So, Mr. Bank immediately wanted him signed here. Mr. Hack is making his way down to the official ring of Banks Arena here. We are in Las Vegas, Nevada. If you did not pay attention at the beginning here, ladies and gentlemen and ma'ams and ladies. Mr. Hack just walking out like he owned the place. He doesn't care what he says. He doesn't care about your feelings. He will say whatever is on his mind, and that is a guarantee. That is why he is banned on 4 different social media platforms. Mr. Hack making his way to the ring as slow as possible. Want everybody to take a good look at him. I don't think anyone's going to forget Mr. Hack. Mr. Hack, you have some mighty fine arm hair, if I do say so myself. I bet you get a lot of ladies with that. Look at that arm hair. I bet it took at least a year to grow your arm hair out like that. I I bet the ladies just love that. Now, see, I used to have really mighty fine back hair and arm hair like that myself until Connie, Miss Showman's wife, Connie, the succubi from the pits of hell I was telling you all about, Connie tied me down and waxed me, and I wiggled my way out of them restraints and I got away from her before she violated my back hair, which I need restitutions for, Connie. I do have my lawyers coming for you. Sorry, Showman. My back hair is important to me. Mr. Hack and Mr. Manbeast getting ready to go, and Mr. Peterson's starting this hell match. Manbeast going for some sort of low blow maneuver there, punching him in the head, grabbing him by the leg, hitting him with the knee. Mr. Hack is going straight for Manbeast. Now Manbeast has pulled a reversal of some sort there, and he is punching that boy in the back of the head with them masks. Now, I don't know what those two look like under their masks. I am assuming those masks are an improvement. I like their masks. I am not going to badmouth Mr. Hack or Mr. Manbeast because I do not want them to pop out my closet in the middle of the night and have a word with me. Mr. Hack going for weaponry right off the bat. Manbeast seems to be a little missing his punches there, and they pulling a sledgehammer out that may come into play later. Now, you boys can hurt each other as much as you want, just don't be bleeding on Mr. Banks' carpet. Like I was saying, he is stickler about his finances and his property. We put those weapons there. Oh, a slap to the anus by Mr. Manbeast. That was very uncalled for. Hack returning some kicks to the face there. And Manbeast going for a clothesline, and it's looking like he's setting up a submission move of some type off the top rope here. Here we have some sort of hurricanrana move by Mr. Manbeast. Anyways, back to my story about Connie. That woman waxed me and she violated the sanctity of my back hair that I have been growing since like the 80s. And I had some mighty fine back hair. And one of these here days, I'm going to go into the ring and I'm going to show everyone what that succubi did to me. That's Showman's wife. Now, Miss Connie, from my understanding, has signed here at BRW Promotions, and she may make an appearance next week for those of you wondering. Mr. Manbeast appears to want to make Hack into one of his here teddy bears, and he's lining him up for a finisher of some sort. I'm not familiar with Mr. Manbeast, but Mr. Hack is like, no, absolutely not today. I am not your teddy bear. And Mr. Manbeast is like, yes, you are, sir. I'm going to add you to my collection. Now, word on the street is, and I don't know how true this is, Mr. Hack either badmouthed Mr. Manbeast's fine teddy bear collection or stole one of them or some such. I am not 100% certain about the altercation that took between these here two gentlemen, but I do know that the situation with Manbeast and the little toddler, that Mr. Manbeast really wanted his teddy bear. I guess he paid a pretty good penny to the family of the toddler, and he got the teddy bear, so everything's completely under control. But Mr. Manbeast's feelings was mighty hurt, because he really wanted that there teddy bear for his collection. Heck, stomping on the backside of Mr. Manbeast, setting him up for some sort of French uppercut or some such, and slamming him right there in the center of the ring. Hack getting up, getting ready to go to the top ropes, I think, y'all. Manbeast is like, not today, sir. And he drop kicks him straight outside the ring next to that there sledgehammer. Now that sledgehammer may come into play here, hopefully. Now, these two look like cheaters to me, and I know that Hack wanted that sledgehammer, but Manbeast so far has seemed to be pretty respectable. He's slamming him on that extra. Now, Mr. Banks put good money in that. Now, you guys better not be scuffing the paint on that there new table. Mr. Banks will not be pleased, sirs. Hack regaining control and slamming Manbeast's head into the side of the ring now. Hack appears to be the one in control of this hell match now. Man Beast is looking like he is unconscious. Maybe he's counting teddy bears in his sleep or some such. Hack is just kneeing him straight to the groin, and that looks mighty painful if you ask me. And going for the cover on Mr. Peterson with the one, but not enough to put Man Beast down, Sauce. Hack is just showboating in front of this here crowd. Going off the middle rope here. He appears to be doing some sort of, ooh, that was not a good idea, Mr. Hack. Now, I know you all extreme and everything, getting banned off them social medias and all that, some such, but clearly you underestimated your opponent, sir. Hack is in trouble because Mr. Man Beast is looking like he is recuperated from whatever Mr. Hack did to him. And look at the scars on that Mr. Man Beast. I wonder if he is stuffed just like the teddy bears. That is what the rumor is, that he doesn't even have, Mr. Man Beast doesn't even bleed or nothing. He just full of cotton stuffing. Hack regaining control, but Man Beast is like, not today. He's going for the cover as Mr. Peterson goes for the count. But it is not enough to put Mr. Hack away here. And Mr. Man Beast, he's looking like he's plotting up to no good, but Mr. Hack said you took too long, and he's going for a DDT of some sort, and he just DDT'd him right into the center of the ring. Uh-oh, Mr. Hack is going for that sledgehammer. This could be over real quick if he picked that up. Oh, here we go. We got the sledgehammer and everything. Ooh, Mr. Man Beast, you got lucky, but Mr. Hack somehow got the upper hand here. Man Beast is putting on a show here, not letting him get a hold of that. He's got him in some sort of submission move. Looks like a sleeper of some sort. Will Hack be able to pull out of this one? And Man Beast has ended the reign of terror of Mr. Hack. You will have your account restricted, sir, and you are going to the dumpster division while Mr. Man Beast is heading for the gold, sir, because Mr. Man Beast has been victorious. Never, never, ever talk about Mr. Man Beast teddy bear collection unless it is complimentary and you are positive about his teddy bears, because that man is serious when it comes to that stuff. Here's a replay here, Mr. Man Beast and Mr. Hack. That was a mighty fine performance. Unfortunately, Hack, you are on your way to the dumpster division, where you will have a chance to be crowned the first ever Dumpster King as our #1 contender and eventually face our Universal Champion here, sir. There he is, your winner. Mr. Man Beast is clearly victorious. He is enjoying his victory. He's grabbing his skulls and his torch or whatever the kind of weird things that saw has there. And showing everybody his fine tattoo teddy bear collection. I am your host, Mr. Richard Long. I am hoping you are enjoying your time here at BRW Arena, here in the beautiful state of Nevada. We will return after these here messages.
Oh my goodness, hi, I'm Abigail, the best mom in the world. Check out my newest creation, the Cuttlefish Gummies. Sweet on the outside, sour on the inside. They come in cherry, strawberry, blue raspberry, lime, and orange flavors. All modeled after my precious baby Cuttlefish. Go on, take them. Only $5.99. Buy two, get one free. If you're lucky, you'll get one signed by yours truly. Buy now, please.
All right, we're back. I am hearing, oh my sweet mother of mercy. Is that the embalmer? What is he doing here? Is he even signed here? All right, let's listen to Mr. Embalmer. Appears Mr. Embalmer is very angry at someone, and I can imagine who it is. Now, Mr. Embalmer and my employer, Mr. Banks, have some history, if you know what I'm saying, from a promotion I will only refer as the redacted promotion for legality reasons and some such. Mr. Embalmer and Mr. Banks have crossed paths multiple times there. And it appears Mr. Embalmer has followed Mr. Banks to the United States, to the great state of Nevada. And it appears he is upset about something. And I can imagine Mr. Embalmer, I should have known he was here, because that boy has been, Mr. Banks has tossed him in the dumpster so many times. They were supposed to have a match, but it never happened according to my sources. And he is calling out the boss, Mr. Banks. Now, Mr. Embalmer is not signed here, to my understanding, yet. And I can tell you Mr. Banks is probably going to be coming out here in a minute and having something to say about this. And as I predicted, here he comes. Here comes Mr. Banks. It looks like he's coming, and Embalmer is just patiently waiting for him. Mr. Banks taking his time. Oh, Lord have mercy. Mr. Banks looks pissed. Now, Mr. Embalmer can't really technically fight here unless he signs. Mr. Banks showing him a little bit of respect, nodding at him now, but let's hear what Mr. Banks has to say here. Mr. Banks. Holy shit, Mr. Banks. Now, Embalmer doesn't work here. It seems like Mr. Banks may be offering him a contract of some sort. Embalmer definitely looking like he's willing to sign. Oh, my mistake. Mr. Embalmer apparently did sign. Mr. Banks looks unamused by this. Mr. Embalmer and Mr. Banks have a lot of history, as I was saying. I can tell you this crowd wants to see Mr. Banks and Mr. Embalmer go at it. It is always a pleasure when they are in the ring together. They exchanging words still here. Mr. Embalmer giving it straight back to the boss here. He isn't having any of Mr. Banks' his words. That's the word I'm looking for. Obviously, Mr. Banks would never slander anyone. Now, from my understanding, these two gentlemen here, my employer, Mr. Banks, and the Mr. Embalmer here, have only met in a match one time at the Redacted promotion. I cannot mention the name out of respect to everyone involved here for legality issues and all that, some such. Nor will I try to risk my position. It's giving clear instructions not to mention that. Mr. Embalmer and Mr. Banks here are definitely having some words here. They're still talking to each other. They like to talk to each other a lot. Mr. Banks does not look impressed or intimidated by anything Mr. Embalmer is saying. And I could say the same for Mr. Embalmer. Mr. Banks looks like he got something up his sleeves, though. Mr. Banks getting in his face like Embalmer just standing there taking it like he is not intimidated at all here. Whatever. Let's see how this tale plays out, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Banks is looking really frustrated by this, y'all. So from my understanding of what just happened here, the main event tonight will be the Embalmer versus Mr. Banks here in a Hell in the Cell match. Now this match will not count for the tournament from my understanding. Mr. Embalmer has apparently signed while Mr. Banks wasn't paying attention. He must have just signed today or some such. However, that will be our main event tonight. Embalmer versus Mr. Banks. This will not factor into the tournament. These two just hate each other's guts and they want to settle the score. However, this will count as either a win or a loss in either's record because clearly Embalmer and Mr. Banks in the match. This is craziness here. We will be back here after these messages with the next match, but this is crazy. This is only the first episode and we already have a match of this caliber. We will be back after these here messages starts. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are back here with another newcomer versus a veteran match here. We have Miss Abigail CFM. I believe that stands for Cuttlefish Mother. I have no idea what that means, but holy squids, they are all over the place. She definitely looks very, very bubbly and friendly. I have heard she is quickly becoming a favorite in the locker room, and that lots of the female talent are talking to her. As you can see, her little squids flying all over their screen now. She is making her way to the ring as we speak, as the bubbles are flying everywhere. Now, why she has so many squid children babies, I have no understanding or recollection of any of that. I know that myself and Showman are not responsible for that, though. So I am assuming Miss Abigail either catches them or something. I am not sure why she has so many children. Order the magazine and maybe you can find out that way. I haven't read all the articles and information yet. However, she is fighting up against her, a highly trained veteran that is in multiple promotions, Miss Faith. Miss Faith is making her way for the very first time to the Banks Regime Wrestling Arena. Miss Faith is the only person I know that is as greedy as my employer, Mr. Banks. However, I'm not sure if she's still on that whole she wants money kick thing. She's looking very much on fire here. She makes it into the ring. Hopefully this will be a good match here. Now, this is the final Extreme Rules match before our main event. Miss Faith and Miss Abigail are the precursor to the main event, which is the Embalmer versus Mr. Banks here. Mr. Embalmer has come all the way from down under here, traveled to Nevada and signed, from my understanding, and he will be facing Mr. Banks tonight in the main event in a Hell in the Cell. Meanwhile, Abigail and Faith are going at it, and she just pulled off a suplex of some sort, and she is kicking Faith to the head, who appears to be burned on her arms. Those are some nasty looking sunburns she has there. I wonder how that happened. Going for a leg drop right on Miss Abigail here. Miss Abigail is not having none of it, and holy pink, Miss Abigail, you are very pink here, ma'am. Now, I have to say, Miss Abigail, is very cutesy looking, unlike a lot of the characters and folks I've seen around here tend to go for a more of a dark side. But Miss Abigail here, she is very bright and all about the colors here. Now, Miss Faith and Miss Abigail are going at it here. Miss Abigail seems to be in the lead here. If this was some sort of race, it's obviously a wrestling match here. Faith, however, retaliates with the spear, and she whiffs with the kick there. So now she's getting elbow strikes up inside the head there, and that was a really good reversal there move by Faith here. Faith is not taking none of Abigail's shit. She's like, keep your children quiet because I am tired of listening to them. And she is flinging her into the ropes next to Mr. Peterson, and Faith delivering one of her patented moves there. She has won many victories with that from my understanding. And she has got Miss Abigail in some sort of hole, but Miss Abigail slips out of that by the skin of her teeth and flings Faith into that corner there. Now she's just staring at her. What's Miss Abigail doing up here? Oh, Miss Abigail, are you able to pull off a superplex? Is that what you're doing? Or that was one of the most lethal hurricanranas I have ever seen. If Faith is not knocked out, I don't know if anything will knock her out. Here. Miss Abigail in full control of Faith here. Going for some sort of slam here. Miss Abigail lifting her up again, and it looks like she's going for a drop kick up in that corner there. And slamming her into the turnbuckle. And it looks like Miss Abigail is ready to put Faith away here. And she goes for that clingy, grabby version of the dumpster buster, but only gets a 2 there. That girl has squid and tentacles all over her look, all over her skirt, all over her gloves and everything. Faith, however, appears to be making a slight comeback here. Let's see if it will keep Miss Abigail down so she can regain the offensive maneuverability here, and this here problem doesn't escalate into a predicament which will end up becoming a problem for Miss Abigail here. But Miss Abigail appears to be regaining control of this here match. Miss Abigail is clearly on the offense again here, but it looks like Faith pulling out a progressive reversal here. However, Faith, that move that you just did there, that did not work, ma'am. That did not work at all. Mr. Peterson going for the count 1, 2. Miss Abigail is on fire at the moment, if I do say so myself. She going for that clingy dumpster buster, if that's what that is called there. Mr. Peterson going for the count here, but only a 2 again. That just kind of shows you how hard Faith is. Faith here has been through a lot of very brutal matches. I have seen several matches she was in, and I am surprised that girl is still able to walk. She has been in some hellacious matches. Now this is, as I said before, all Extreme Rules. Miss Faith here is going for a chair. Miss Abigail better be paying more attention to the chair than that crowd. Ooh, slammed right in the glutes there. Chair shot straight to the glutes is never good. You could deflate one of your glutes if she pop it. Oh, Miss Faith is setting that there chair up for some sort of maneuver here. Obviously, Miss Abigail was not paying attention after getting the chair shot to the glutes. That's definitely not a good thing there. Faith is now in control, and she flings Miss Abigail head first in that chair, and that has to be it, ladies and gentlemen. Good night, Miss Abigail. I hope your children... Oh, Miss Abigail is definitely a tough mother, if you know what I mean. She just took a chair shot to the glutes and to the head, and she is still competing in this hell ring. Miss Abigail going for the cover here. Miss Faith will not be put down that easy though. She is very, very tough here. Putting her in some sort of leg lock on her head. However, Faith getting up and walking straight into a knee to the gut. And Miss Faith here going for some sort of move, but it is quickly countered by Miss Abigail, who has taken a lot of punishment in this here match. A chair shot to the glutes and a chair shot straight to the head. Will it be enough to put Miss Faith away? It is not, ladies and gentlemen. Abigail's starting to look frustrated. She's starting to realize that she should not underestimate Miss Faith here. Drop kicking her to the head. What's Miss Abigail doing here? Stomping her head with that knee there. And there she goes again with that clingy dumpster buster of some sort. Is it enough to put Faith away? It's close but no cigar, Miss Abigail. And Miss Faith here is not a pushover, and you better make sure she is straight up unconscious before you go for the pin there. This match is on fire, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, come on, Faith. You're going for the low blow here. And Miss Abigail is able to prevent a third loss to that move tonight. I am definitely having a talk with Mr. Banks about that. That move is being removed and will not ever be seen again in this here promotion going forward, because that move is one of the cheapest, dirtiest moves in this here sport, and we are going to get rid of that and nip that in the butt before you can say jackrabbits on fire, fish tanks on fire, and where's my cat? Here. Now, Miss Abigail here, you need to be focusing on your opponent, Miss Faith, because she is not playing no games here. That was a beautiful Hurricane Rana there. Miss Abigail seems to be countered by Miss Faith here. Faith is spinning it around, and she just ate the inside of her shoelaces. I don't know how these girls perform like this. This is one of the most brutal matches I have seen in a while. First, Miss Faith chair shots Miss Abigail straight to the lower rear portions of her gluteus maximus here. Then she sets that chair up in that turnbuckle and straight shot rams her head into it like a battering ram. And Miss Abigail is still standing. Now, she has a lot of children, so I imagine Miss Abigail puts up with a lot of shit in her life. However, Miss Abigail, you just really screwed yourself there, because Faith got you in one of them there figure fours. Miss Abigail, though, is getting out of this here. And she is spinning Faith around in that turnbuckle. However, she just may have messed her knee up. Faith quickly countered that, and she is going for the pin. 1, 2, and that is it. Now, I have to say, from what I've seen, Miss Abigail herself is no pushover, but Miss Faith is clearly a trained veteran, and she is moving on to possibly be crowned the very first Universal Empress of Banks Regime Wrestling here. Miss Abigail, you will have your chance to prove yourself, earning the #1 contender spot by securing the Dumpster Queen title in the Dumpster division, but you didn't quite get the job done, Miss Abigail. I was almost impressed with you here. However, you are clearly in the Dumpster division, and Miss Faith moves on to the Universal division here. Let me check on my books here and make sure all this is good and proper in the official notepad. Miss Faith, congratulations on your hard-earned victory. Miss Abigail was clearly no pushover here. And we will be back after these here sponsors.
Like, does someone, owe you money or not paying you their cut of rent or a payment for, their car or something? Well, I totally have a solution for that problem. Call 1-800-HKB-BANK now, and I'll totally get your stuff and or money back. And I'll even send those deadbeat thieves to the ER extra free of charge by breaking their kneecaps. This is totally a testimonial from a kid or somebody who sold his bike or something. I don't remember, but yeah, take his word for it.
Yeah, so I sold my bike to this guy for $50 and he ripped me off and only gave me 25 and said he'd give me the other 25 later. So I called Miss Harmony after a day or two and she tracked him down and got me $75 back, and she whooped his ass and took pictures and he went to the emergency room.
Alright, I'm kind of ashamed of what I did now. I see the error of my ways. I tried to rip this kid off for his bike because I was late for work. Then Miss Harmony showed up and she stomped my ass into the ground. And she made me give her $200. She gave the kid $75 and I guess she kept the rest. And she's making me make this video where she said she would break my fingers too. Is that good, Miss Harmony? Is that good? Please don't break my fingers. I'll totally do anything you say. Here, was that good? I'll re-record this if you...
So, call now. I totally get results and stuff. That's 1-800-HKB-BANK. That's 1-800-HKB-BANK. Call now, and I'll break their kneecaps for free.
One.
This is only limited to the U.S., unless you, pay for my travel expenses. But, this is totally not a real phone number, and if you want to call it, that's on you. Toodles!
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back live. It appears, Lord have mercy, Miss Harmony, you are not looking well, but she is coming out here anyway. She looks like she has something on her mind. Now, Miss Harmony is a very beautiful woman, but she is a very angry woman. Looks like she has something to say here. I'm not sure what this is all about. I was told she was supposed to help us here with the commentation, but it appears she has something to say here. I am just going to shut up and let Miss Harmony talk so I do not end up with broken kneecaps here. Miss Harmony appears to be calling somebody out already. I'm not sure what this is all about here. We shall see what is about to transpire here. Now, I do not recommend interrupting Miss Harmony when she talks. She is very, very aggressive, if you know what I mean. And she is not looking like she is in a good mood. I know she was not feeling too well earlier, which is why she is not co-hosting with me as she was scheduled to. However, I am hoping she will co-host and feel better next week. This Vanessa Sun character. I have heard much about this Vanessa Sun. There are definitely rumors about her here, but I am not sure exactly who Miss Vanessa Sun is. So it appears here she comes. I have heard she is an assassin of some sorts, but I will let Miss Vanessa Sun speak for herself, because she apparently has something to say to Miss Harmony. Miss Harmony just gazing at her like she wanna rip her in half. Shit. Miss Harmony is looking very angry here. All I know is when Miss Harmony gets, look, I drive Miss Harmony around sometimes, and if I am even like a second late, Miss Harmony gets upset. So when Mr. Banks has hired me for a wide variety of duties, and one of my duties is picking Miss Harmony up and bringing Miss Harmony to work. You do not want to be late with Miss Harmony or forget her bags or anything, because she will get very angry. Now this Vanessa lady here, I don't know what kind of person she is. She better exercise caution with Miss Harmony. Miss Harmony, if she gets very angry, can be very dangerous. I have seen her knock out someone from just looking at her the wrong way. Vanessa, though, is not backing down from Miss Harmony. This is clearly making Miss Harmony angry. And when Miss Harmony gets angry, she does things. She does crazy things. She is Miss Harmony. For those that know all about Miss Harmony, you may knock Miss Harmony down, but Miss Harmony always gets up and she always come at you when you ain't looking. Now, I am not insulting Miss Harmony. I am not saying anything bad about Miss Harmony. I have nothing but the utmost respect for Miss Harmony. I am just saying, if I was Miss Vanessa, I would be worried about the situation she is probably in. Miss Harmony, please don't kill me. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to make this here good for the audience here. Miss Harmony, I clearly believe in you, Miss Harmony. I am not sure who this Miss Sun is, but she looks like a shady character, and you better make sure you know what you're doing. I know you do, Miss Harmony. I know you have had like literally every belt under the sun elsewhere in multiple places, Miss Harmony. I'm just looking out for you, Miss Harmony. That's what your brother pays me for here. Your brother, Mr. Banks, pays me to look out for you, Miss Harmony, and that's all I'm saying here. Apparently they don't want to throw hands tonight for some reason here. I wouldn't want to throw hands with Miss Harmony either. So I will say that these interruptions are angering Mr. Banks. So we are going to have Miss Harmony versus Miss Vanessa Sun next week at some point on the show. I can tell you ain't going to walk away from Miss Harmony after that, because Miss Harmony will find you, okay? So we will take one last break, and then we are going to get to our main event here, and then we are going to wrap up our very first episode of Banks Regime Wrestling. Banks Regime Wrestling. That tap water it's getting in my throat, and I've been talking so much, and it's mighty hot with all these lights. I'm not used to these here settings, so give a fella a break on how he's communicating to y'all here tonight here, and I will see you in a couple of minutes here.
Listen and hear the words of your Supreme Sovereign, Rob Banks. Listen up, you uneducated, smelly primates. I'm only going to explain this one time. You all know you smell like the inside of an aftermath dumpster fire with rotten eggs mixed in. Now, every time you people show up to my arena and in my presence. Your awful hygienic smell interferes with my wrestling skills and abilities. And it makes me have to work harder than I should. So, I've come up with a solution to the problem. I am now offering the Supreme Sovereign's Special Blend Body Wash and Shampoo. You can find it at your nearest grocery stores, and in your newspapers there will be BankBucks coupons to save 50 cents per bottle. I will also be dropping BankBucks at the arena. Please feel free to pick them up off of my floor and utilize them, and go to your nearest store and buy yourself the Supreme Sovereign Special Blend Shampoo and Body Wash. So I have spoke it, so it shall be done. Go to the store, buy the body wash, take a shower. The Supreme Sovereign has spoken.
Ladies and gentlemen, sirs and ma'ams, whatever you prefer to be called, welcome to our very first main event. Here we have the Embalmer, who I have recently come to understand has just signed here at Banks Regime Wrestling here. He is making his entrance here, and what an entrance that is. Lord have mercy, that boy got the smoke, he got the fire, he got the pyrotechnics. He is making his way to that Hell in the Cell. He is up against my employer, the owner of Banks Regime Wrestling, Mr. Rob Banks himself, the Supreme Sovereign as he prefers to be called. And this match will not affect the Universal or the Dumpster divisions. Both Mr. Embalmer and Mr. Banks will fight a competitor of my choosing, since they have decided to have this little situation that escalated into a predicament that is clearly a problem get resolved here tonight once and for all. So they will compete later to see which division they are heading in, since Mr. Banks has put me in charge to make this here fair for everyone. Alright, and Mr. Banks is about to make his way to the ring here. And here he is, the owner, the Supreme Sovereign himself, Mr. Rob Banks. He will be dropping them Banks bucks from the rafters here. They will save you 50 cents on the bottle of the Supreme Sovereign Special Blend Body Wash and Shampoo. Make sure y'all use those. Mr. Banks hates it when y'all smell up his here arena with his brand new entrance here. That is a mighty fine entrance, Mr. Banks. That is pretty slick. I see what you did there. I like that. But will you be able to stuff the Embalmer in the dumpster once again, or will you be the one the Embalmer stuffs in the dumpster at the end of this here show, sir? Oh, there come them Banks Bucks coupons. Look at them jumping to grab those. Look. That's right. Get those coupons. Those will save you 50 cents on that there body wash Mr. Banks is selling. He's very excited about that. And alright, we're going to get Mr. Peterson in, and we're going to get this here cage lowered, and we're going to have ourselves a settling of some issues here. This is it. It all boils down to this here. I'm sure they will meet in the ring again, but Mr. Banks not looking too worried, and Embalmer is ready. Mr. Peterson rings the bell, and we are going straight to town. Mr. Banks jumps on Embalmer and starts knocking him upside the head. Embalmer, though, gets a quick reversal on Mr. Banks here. He whacks him and knocks him upside his head, knocks him down here, and appears to be using a crab against Mr. Banks. One of Mr. Banks' favorite moves here. However, Mr. Banks will not go down that easily, so. Embalmer and Mr. Banks locking up. They are definitely equally matched on all grounds. Both competitors hate each other. I know these two hate each other. They do respect each other, however. Mr. Embalmer knocking Mr. Banks back. However, Mr. Banks is crafty with them flatliners and cutters. You gotta be watching him at all times. You take your eyes off of Mr. Banks, you're gonna be in trouble. Balmer eyeing up Mr. Banks here. Mr. Banks quickly countering here, and that sliding drop kick maneuver he does there. And Mr. Banks, you should know better. You ain't gonna pin Balmer that fast. I don't even know why you were trying to do that. I just know that he is annoyed, sir. And it's a twisted neck breaker there on Mr. Banks here. Oh, and Mr. Banks is quick to reverse it and stomp on Mr. Balmer upside his head. Now, my understanding is Mr. Embalmer likes to sip on the embalming fluid. I would not recommend drinking formaldehyde. It's probably hazardous to your health, so you should probably stop doing that. However, Mr. Embalmer is clearly dominating Mr. Banks here. Mr. Banks is laying down on the job here, so you need to get up and face your nemesis here, sir. Is Mr. Banks out already? Oh, he's just playing possum, I see. He got that quick reversal in. Mr. Banks got Embalmer up, and he's up to something here. An elbow strike to the head. Mr. Banks reverses and does that same neck twister breaker that Mr. Embalmer did to him. See how he'd like it. Mr. Banks got Embalmer up, and Embalmer clearly overpowers and does some kind of weird flip kick move. I'm not sure what that's called, but that was impressive, Mr. Embalmer. Right upside Mr. Banks' head, but it wasn't enough to put him away here. Mr. Banks getting up while Embalmer standing in the corner. He side slams him to the ground and going for the quick pin here. Mr. Banks, though, is not going to go down that easily on Mr. Embalmer, sir. I would be surprised if he did. Now, Mr. Banks hasn't wrestled in a while here. He has been off in Hollywood filming that Fist of the Dumpster movie that he got a contract for. And he has also been setting up BRW here, so he has been very busy. Oh, Mr. Banks knocked Embalmer straight into the side of that cage. However, it doesn't seem to faze the Embalmer at all. He just gets back up and denies him the kick to the face here. Embalmer going for the punch, but Mr. Banks counters as they go around the ring there. Banks is hitting Embalmer, but Embalmer flings his ass back into the ring here. Embalmer looking to the crowd for support here. Embalmer is got Mr. Banks, and he's flinging him up in their corner here, but Mr. Banks uses that elbow strike, and he tries to go for his patented Boston Crab move, which he clearly should not have been trying to do yet, because that was a little too early, I think, there, saw Mr. Banks here. Mr. Banks, you are looking like you are almost done for, sir. Embalmer going for Mr. Banks, knocking him upside his head. That kick and leg drop. Is this the end of Mr. Banks? I can tell you if he loses this match, he is going to be very, very pissed next week. Mr. Peterson going for the count, but Mr. Banks is not so easy to go down. I have seen Mr. Banks make some miraculous comebacks when it looks like he is going to lose here. However, Mr. Banks, you just made a mistake going for whatever you were trying to do there here. Now we have Embalmer going for another kick upside his head. Now he's going for the pin. 1, 2. Mr. Banks says not yet, sir. You want to put Mr. Banks in that dumpster, Mr. Embalmer, you were going to have to earn it. Mr. Banks reverses the move here. He has regained control of... maybe he has not regained control here. These two have been in some hellacious matches. Mr. Banks don't care much for rules. He prefers the outside of the ring, from my understanding. I've seen him fight, and he is not to be taken lightly. He is called the Supreme Sovereign for a reason. Now, the Embalmer should not be underestimated either. I have seen him in some very hellacious matches himself, but Mr. Banks is also... these two are just equals here. Oh, Mr. Banks power bombs him into the cage. I am surprised that cage did not break. Could Mr. Banks be running out of steam? And he slams the Embalmer's head right inside that fencing for that cage and slams his head into the side post there. Embalmer had enough of that, and he said, I do not think so. Mr. Banks blocks an attempt at his head, flings him back in the ring here. Mr. Banks stomping on the Embalmer's head here. I don't know what he's trying to do, but he's going for a pin. Only a 2 count there, Mr. Banks, sir. If you want to beat Embalmer, you should know better, sir. You have faced him many times here. Well, not here, but at other places here. Mr. Banks seemed to be going for some sort of move. Is he going to get him in that there crab? Oh, yes. Mr. Banks have him in that Boston crab, but Embalmer says, not today. I am aware of what that move is, and I've been training for that. Banks is and Embalmer are going at it here. Oh, Mr. Banks is going for the sleeper. If him don't get out of that soon, he's going to go night-night. And that is a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Embalmer, sir, that was a fantastic effort on your behalf. But at the end of the day, you let Mr. Banks get that sleeper hold on you, sir. Mr. Banks has put you to sleep with that move before. You should have been wise to that, sir. However, we would like to welcome you to Banks Regime Wrestling, sir. We are happy to have you here. We gave you your match, sir, but next week I will be choosing your opponent should I decide to schedule you in next week's show, sir, since you just came here. What do we have here? Mr. Banks, look at him. He's showing Mr. Embalmer that he is not afraid of him. Oh, Mr. Banks has one of them Bank Bucks coupons for the Supreme Sovereign Bath and Body Wash, I believe it's called. What's Mr. Banks gonna do here? Mr. Banks, what are you doing, sir? Oh, Mr. Banks, that was uncalled for, sir. Mr. Banks giving Mr. Embalmer one of them now coupons. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have enjoyed tonight's show. This is the end of our here production here. I will return next week, hopefully with a co-host of some sort. Hopefully Showman or Miss Harmony will show up at some point here. That is the end of our episode here. I hope you all have a good night, and we'll be seeing you all next week here.